All right, what is going on? How y'all doing out there today? It's the Monday Minutia here with your Uncle Steve. How's everybody doing on this? It's actually a beautiful May 1st here in Georgia. Little windy outside, and when I say little, I mean little a lot. It's very windy out there, man. Hold on to your car handles and doors and stuff like that. Not really jacket weather, but it is pretty breezy out there. I just had some uh, folks cut the hedges, and man, them things blowing all over the place now. So I've been doing some cleanup over the last couple of hours, but nevertheless, we are here with you. It's your Uncle Steve here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Folks, we appreciate you joining us today. We appreciate all of the love over the weekend for the draft from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We went live every day to bring you all at least a small glimpse from a fan's point of view on what's going on with our Atlanta Falcons. And then the reason I started a little bit later than normal is because Terry Fontenot had a season ticket holder video that he did at 5 o'clock. So I was trying to just catch any glimpse of information we could find out from him. Not a whole lot, just him being very happy about the draft, reiterating some of the free agent moves we made, and just sounding like somebody that's pretty confident that this will be our return to postseason play. And quite honestly, after everything, not just the draft, everything, the draft, free agency, no matter how we were kind of looking at it from a fan's point of view, you can't argue with his mindset on how they're trying to build this team and what they're trying to do. He mentioned a little bit about being able to run that ball in the fourth quarter and take some time off the clock. I thought that was brilliant to me. Just the running game, that's when you lean on it. And if you have one person, I mean, sometimes, you're lucky enough to have the one running back that you can lean on and just say, hey, let me give you the ball and just let you press down. Well, we have three. So now it's a clear identity of what the Atlanta Falcons were. We talked about a lot about that last year, about identity. And I think we kind of saw it from mid-season on in. Now, with hopefully the development of Desmond Ridder in the offense, hopefully he can add that next dimension and we can be off and running. I must admit, I'm pretty excited about what's getting ready to happen here in Atlanta in 2023. I can't wait until the first camp shows up. That's going to be pretty exciting. Again, if you get a chance to, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Tell your friends that your uncle is here. And we just here to have a good time, folks. I don't ever want to make it so serious that, we doing all of that. This is fan talk, man. I've never claimed journalism. I'm never claiming to be the genius in the room. I'm just a fan that wants to talk to other fans about what's going on with our Atlanta Falcons. So thank you so much for joining us today. As usual, John Brooks, always one of the first ones in the house. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for pushing that like button. I appreciate you. David Starks up in the house. What's going on, man? How you feeling? Good to see you. Trichadatic in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Marina in the house. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you. Kendrick in here. Appreciate you coming in. Thank y'all for joining your aunt today. If you have questions, please throw them in the chat. I think a little later on in the next hour, I'm going to put the link out there. And if you guys want to join me for a couple of minutes, we can do that and keep it rolling. But appreciate everyone, especially this weekend, man. I mean, just an exciting time if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, especially after what's been going on for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, just to have a little bit of light in the tunnel that you can see. And I think that's what we're going, just the veteran players alone. I mean, we're excited about the draft, but just the things that you've seen over the week. Tridata says, what grade do you give the Falcons for the draft and free agency so far? My grade is an A. And you know what? I'm willing to give the overall grade, and I'm a forever pessimist. And I'm not a negative pessimist. I'm a pessimist because we get hyped sometimes and then things don't exactly go the way we want to. But I'm going to say a solid B because I like all of the moves that we've made. I'm still, sorry, folks, I'm trying. I'm still concerned about the quarterback position, whether it's Ritter, whether it's Heineke, or whoever else is coming. That's the most important position on the field, folks. And as much as my support will be for that young man, I am still a little concerned about that particular position. Everything else, I'm pretty excited about. I'm excited that we're making a commitment to the line, especially the offensive line, to give him some protection. I'm excited that they're giving him some extra running backs back there so he doesn't have to tote the load or feel like he has to tote the load. So I like all the moves we've made. Would like to still kind of see a nice receiver come off, a veteran receiver come in here. I know we picked up the other two, but just that other cat that can kind of take the top off a little bit. I don't think we have that, but keeping it real, yeah, I'll give it a B. Real good. Eric, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you in the house. Greg, what is going on? Greg, how you doing, my friend? I know people are skeptical about Bijan at number 8, but I posted a link to Chris Johnson interview that Bijan we used to host like Adrian Peterson like, and that's saying a lot from a back like CJ. Absolutely. And listen, the narrative has never been, is Bijan the guy? I don't, for anybody that's trying to kind of diminish that, I mean, dude, your glasses must be thicker than mine because the tape don't lie and the games don't lie. He can run. He seems like he's that special person. Now, again, we got to put him on the field with some NFL players, but I don't see him being that type of guy that's gonna turn out to be less than advertised. So, yeah, you're not gonna have to convince me. I think the biggest thing that a lot of the fan base were looking to solidify the defense, and I got that. I was not one. I'm not gonna sit here and try to pretend like I was Bijan all the way at 8. Never was. I said before the draft, it didn't matter to me who the Atlanta picked, and this is a perfect case because he's here and we're good. But I did think it might be a good idea to maybe just, put some more pieces back there in the defense. When I say more pieces, we obviously got some more. We got Clark Phillips, and boy, folks, don't sleep on that one. That's a really good pickup in the 4th round. And Matt Bergeron to help the offensive line. We got the brother out of Ohio State on the edge. So I see some good things coming from this team. So, it's not doom and gloom, Greg. I think a lot of people, unfortunately, go in that direction. Try to say, I can see 14 wins if we stay healthy. Hey, why not? Why not? Why not? Why would you have any reason to not be optimistic? Frankie in the house. I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on, Frankie? Good to see you now. The Dixon Way, Larry in the house. I was watching some of Larry today as he was watching the Braves hold on by the skin of their teeth against the New York Mets in that first game of the doubleheader. Glad to have you in, Larry. Larry says, Bijan is in the building. What's up, Steve? I'm diving 10 toes down with Bijan, new face of the franchise. And, it's funny because Larry posted a post earlier today about that thing being the face of the franchise. I'm telling y'all, if Bijan can be an integral part of this team going to the playoffs this year, he should be the face of the city. And that's with no disrespect, of course, to Trey, who I think kind of holds that position right now. Maybe Ronald Acuna, maybe him, but he can be that guy if you come in here and take care of business. Now, my dream would be for Desmond Ridder to be that guy, because that means if Desmond Ridder is that guy, then he's doing well. So that's the way I look at that. Hopefully he is. Macktown Dirty in the house. What's going on, sir? Meals in the house. What's up, fam? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in here. Frankie says, I need to see it on the field. I don't trust them. Frankie, what you again? You're kind of like me. I'm a pessimist, and there is plenty of room for pessimists at Mercedes-Benz. Trust me. And there are a lot of pessimists who follow these Falcons and root for these Falcons. It's just an idea. You're right. We do need to see it on the field. The one caveat I'll give you, Frankie, is that I don't think I've been as excited about some of the influx of talent, free agency mixed in with the draft. Was I totally blown away with the draft? No. But I think we filled some needs and some depth that we've been talking about. We've been talking about getting another edge player to go in there and challenge the young guys we got last year. We talked about getting another offensive lineman with Bergeron. We spoke about the guy in the 7th round, Gwynn, I think it is. In the 7th round. We talked about getting another cornerback, and you got Clark to fill that out. So it's not like we haven't filled up with depth, but you're right. We got to see it on the field. And that's, it is what it is. Philip, what's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? Saying, in my opinion, they did enough in free agency on defense to be able to draft DR5 in the 1st round to take more pressure off DR9. Yeah, Look, I think we've done a great job of surrounding him with talent that the pressure can be off of Ridder to be perfect. Of course, no quarterback is perfect. And if you look at the league today, there are more average quarterbacks than there are great quarterbacks. I think the great quarterback list stops at about maybe 6. If that, it's not a very long list. So David says, over my disappointment in the Bijan selection, now just hoping our head coach knows how to use him and doesn't wear him down. David, he better. Because I will say this, for all the optimism that a lot of us are having about the additions that come in, this is not a 7-10 season. This is not even an 8-9 season. You better win. You better win this year. I do know that. You better. Yeah, everybody's talking about Corey Davis, bringing him in. Yeah, if we could, let's do it. And Terry did say in his presser today, not presser, but in his little interview with David Archer, he did say that they're not finished. So let's hope everything is still rolling. Philip says we still got a little pocket change to spend on one nice veteran receiver. And, Philip, we're getting to that part in free agency where, it's going to be hard for these players to name their price, because if they were that wanted, they would have been already with a team right now. If you look at some of the free agents that are out there that are still left, I mean, you still got some folks that still need to step up their little their promotion game, because they don't have a contract yet. So it's some guys out there. And then don't forget, after the preseason game this year, the last preseason game, all those people that get cut, got to look at that list too. Facebook using, I think that's my brother Macario. What's going on, man? I know. What's up, brother? Thank you for all the coverage over the draft, and it was my pleasure. I'm excited from all the free agency and the draft picks this season. Has playoff Super Bowl written all over it. And I'm telling y'all, in this downtrodden NFC, there is no reason the Atlanta Falcons can't come up with a 3rd or 4th seed. I just don't see it. Really, aside of Philadelphia and San Francisco, and I'll say that until I'm blue in the face, aside of those two teams, I think the NFC is a straight toss-up. Throw the coin up in the air and let it fall where it may. But I think that's what it is. All right. Larry says, I give the Falcons a B for the total offseason moves. That's free agency and draft picks. I didn't want Bijan, but I'm behind him as face of the franchise in the top 5 running backs next season. I can live with that. Tajik, what's going on, man? Say, hey, are you and Tidy going to swallow your emotions and give Bijan a chance? It seemed like y'all want to throw him away and haven't even given him a chance yet. I think every pick deserves a chance. That's a negative, man. And Tidy speaks for Tidy. I am somebody that has come out and said I wasn't a huge fan of the pick, but once they get in the uniform, and Tidy tells you that, and I don't want to speak for him out of line, but once they're on the team, it is what it is. But that wasn't probably the optimal pick for me. But it's not about, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about, can he come and produce for the Atlanta Falcons? And if you paid attention the whole time, I said it several times, I don't know who they're going to pick. Matter of fact, you know who I thought they were going to pick? I thought they were going to pick Peter Skoronski. When people were asking me those last 24 to 48 hours, I was Peter Skoronski. So, yeah, we got Bijan, but I'm not crying about it. I don't think anybody's crying about it. I'm just saying, y'all have to know the difference between I don't like the player or I don't like the decision. The player is fine. I'm worried about the decision. But the player is fine. It is what it is, my brother. Backtown says 1-7 when they predicted 2. Now they're predicting 7.5 less wins than the Aints. What are we going to? Man, them odds people. But look, I need to go to Vegas and get some of them odds because I won last summer. I won the over-under, which was 5.5 when I went to Vegas last summer. And I also won, I forgot what else it was. It was something else. But I know the over-under was 5.5 last year in June. So RC, what's going on? Said we got to have a Thanksgiving night in the A against the Poopy Aints. And that was the other part of the stream, y'all, that I wanted to get into. They did announce that the schedule release will probably be sometime next week. I think they were specifically saying Thursday. So I wanted to talk to y'all again as fans, and we'll still talk about the draft a little bit, but talk about what games are on your to-do list this year. A home schedule is actually, it's pretty nice. And if you look at the home schedule, it's not exactly a pushover schedule. You got Chicago, Detroit, Jacksonville, Tennessee. You got Philly here, Carolina, the Saints, and the Falcons, of course. And I know they don't have the Bucs on. Y'all know why they don't have the Bucs. And then away, we have Green Bay, Minnesota, Houston, Colts. No, that's wrong. I got the wrong list. I'm sorry, y'all. I was about to say, I knew I had that list wrong. Let's try that again. Let's try that list again. My apologies, y'all. I'm going to pull this up real quick. I was sitting there saying to myself, I said, no. We play Chicago in Chicago this year. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry that we don't have that info. Give me 1 second. I am pulling that up. Let me finish doing this as that is pulling up. Frankie says, Todrick, now fam, Tidy didn't say we weren't giving him a chance. He was on the other side of the folks. Yeah, that's the thing. I love my buddy Todrick, but I think Todrick thinks we're going to be those type of people that are going to sit here and boohoo and dog the man and get a voodoo doll and push pins. Tasha, we're not gonna do that, brother. I think y'all need to bring EB on more. I think that's her name. I like her enthusiasm. Oh, the young lady who get on there. That was actually one of Smitty's friends, Smitty's Sports Machine. So check him out on his draft. She'll probably be on him. I'm not as familiar with her until that stream. Stefan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the house. Appreciate you. David said, hopefully the Marshall kid, can make the team and make an impact on the other side of Drake, but he's undrafted free agent, so I'm not going to expect too much. And those are the things that, listen, there's always one of those stories in the NFL where somebody gets an opportunity and then they turn it into something, bigger. Listen, y'all, temper it a little. That's my only thing. Temper it a little, because quite honestly, there are reasons why those folks don't get picked. Those are reasons why those folks don't get drafted. It's not because they're not talented. They're not. If you go around the whole draft 7 rounds and no team picks you, there's a reason. And it may not be bad. It just may be that all 200 and whatever folks are more talented than you. Or you may be at a position where there's just more of a need in other positions. So he's a wide receiver, right? So maybe the need for wide receiver in the NFL wasn't as strong. And maybe there was more of a need on defensive line. So you saw a run of defensive linemen going all around. So, we got to, you can't exactly, lean on that too much. Okay, I apologize, y'all. So let's get this right. So, obviously the division, folks. And then away, we go to Chicago, we go to Jacksonville, we go to Detroit. We go to Tennessee, we go to New York, the Jets, and we go to Arizona. The home schedule, aside of the division, folks, are Green Bay, Minnesota, Houston, Texas, Indianapolis Colts, Washington Commanders. Now, the crazy thing is that's actually a slightly soft home schedule, so that ought to be pretty good. Ghost Peppers in the house. What's going on? Said the new lead singer of Southern Silk. What's up, man? Don't be getting me in trouble with Big Low, man. Don't do that. I ain't say nothing, man. I'm waiting for the contracts to be renegotiated. Don't get me in trouble. David said also a pessimist. Absolutely. Stephon said, Steve, we could have done better. Absolutely, we could have. I think we could have, but again, the overused phrase, trust the process. I'm hoping Terry and Arthur's plan comes to fruition. If it does, we should be looking at a successful season. If it doesn't, we might be on the search committee again for some new leadership. False start in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here. Say better win with the additions in the schedule is weak. Better win. And you just saw me read that schedule off. Again, I know we got a long way and everybody next week is going to play the win-loss game and stuff. But I'm just looking, and I'm not even going to go to division, but the away games, Detroit, are they unbeatable? No. Chicago, no, they're not unbeatable. Jacksonville's not unbeatable. Tennessee's not unbeatable. The Jets aren't unbeatable, but I do like the addition of Aaron Rodgers, and Arizona, they can be beat. So the away schedule, then the home schedule, if you're going to have some folks come up in here, Packers, I don't think the Packers are going to be as good. Minnesota, a lot of wins last year, but you're going to have to prove it to me. We're going to see both the number 1 and the number 2 quarterbacks picked in the draft. That's the Texans coming to town. We got a Matt Ryan-less Indianapolis Colts coming in, and the Washington Commanders coming in. So there's nothing about that schedule that makes me say, so I agree with you. Greg says, I like that Clark Phillips pick. He is a pass disruptor, and I see good things in the Nielsen defense on the other side of AJ and Okuda in the slot. I love it. I love it. I think we can do that. Larry says, Acuna got hurt today. Okay, but he was playing at MVP pace this season. Top 3 player in Major League Baseball, but I don't know if a baseball player can be the face of the city. Even Chipper was, slow your roll there, brother. You must not have been around when Dale Murphy was in town. Dale Murphy was bigger than any Atlanta Falcon that was ever on this earth at that time. And really during the 91, during the Braves run, I mean, really, Chipper was kind of the face of the city when they were rolling. So I gotta disagree with you on that. Yeah. Now you need to go back and check your history on that, brother. Dale Murphy was absolutely the talk of the town. Even when he went through before his MVP seasons, and the Falcons were rolling, Bartkowski was never that face of the franchise. It was about the Braves then. Murphy was, oh man, please. Murphy was just a good old boy. So I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Greg say a lot of man defense this year. I'm seeing in the foreseeable future. I hope so. My brother Scooter, man, what's going on, sir? Said preseason is going to be really exciting because I think some second and third year guys getting cut, in my opinion. You know who's going to get cut, Scooter? A lot of people that you saw starting for the Falcons last year because we just didn't have anybody else. All of those people who were kind of, starting that we were saying, oh, man, if he can just develop. And I know we re-signed him. I'm speaking to Cornell Armstrongs, the D. Alfords, the Timmy Horns, the Abdullahs, the folks like that. They were good for the moment. But on a real NFL team full of talent, are they going to be able to measure up? I hope so from a feel-good standpoint, but you got to realize that the talent quotient has upgraded now. So if that's happened, you can't really sit here and act like all those guys are going to be here again. But you're right. I think that a couple of people are going to get cut, and some of the Falcons, and this is. I'm going to go through those phases of fans. If y'all watch my brother Out of Your Falcon Mind, Mike, over there, he actually had an excellent piece about the different type of reactions of fans and the different types of fans. Y'all go see that, man, because there is a fan type in Atlanta that will hang on to the D. Alfords and Cornell Armstrongs and just hug them with everything they got and say, oh, I just can't let you go, when we got an upgrade of folks coming in. So, and I swear it's not negative. I swear I'm not being negative, folks. Antonio, what's up, man? Said, can we just skip the training camp? Man, dude, I wish they opened up rookie camp, but I don't think they do. I don't think they open up rookie camp. Francis, what's going on? How you doing? Said, can't wait for the season to start. Got high hopes. Join the club. I am very hyped about what's going to go on. Please make sure during the season, y'all, I always wear this bad boy out, especially during football season. I got my new one that's supposed to be coming, the red one. So please, if y'all see me out there at the game, because if I see you, I'm going to make sure, hey, who's that? Y'all speak to your uncle if you get a chance to. Larry said, I hated the pick during the draft, but I'm behind the kid, 10 toes down, Super Bijan to the rescue of the franchise. Any word? No, on his jersey number. I have not heard anything. Somebody tweeted something that said he might be number 2. I have a sneaky suspicion they'll probably assign those numbers pretty soon because with the season coming out, season coming and everything. That should be interesting. I have super chat here, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. As soon as your aunt can get this thing down here, thank you so much, Stefan. I appreciate you, and let's read it together. He said, I want to see the Eagles, Jets, Vikings showing love. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm trying to get that together. So follow in Stefan's footsteps. What away game do you all want to see? What away game? I'm trying to hook up with my buddy Alberto, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see those Jets. But if I get a chance to, I would love to see them. And again, thank you, Stefan. I appreciate that. Like I said before, y'all never see me advertising, but I appreciate it. Anytime y'all feel compelled to do that, $5, $10, 50 cents, it's all good. I appreciate the love, and thank you for the support as always, man. Appreciate y'all. Christian's in the house. What's up, Christian? How you doing? Christian says, hey, I hope you're having a blessed day. I'm going to say this. I am shocked we did draft a running back in the first round. I thought we would grab a defensive player since we got some vets to help groom the young players. That's what I was trying to explain to folks. This is the reaction right here. Christian is not the negative Falcon guy. He's a 100% Falcon guy, but it's okay to not possibly be on the same page as the folks who making decisions. And again, the folks who making decisions might get it wrong, but until we see it on the field, I'm going to give them a shot. I'm still going to have my opinion, as Christian does, but I'm going to give it a shot. I didn't think Bijan was going to be there. Not be there. I didn't think Bijan was the right pick at number 8 either. But guess what? He's here. I like the young man. And it's kind of crazy. How do you not like his talent? Because you don't like the pick doesn't mean he's a scrub. The dude is the best running back in the game coming out of college. So I don't know, man. I need to go into football therapy. Antonio said, I have a feeling AK and Malone about to have breakout season. They better. They got my buddy from Ohio State breathing down their necks. And then they got Bud Dupree back there saying, oh, y'all ain't going to get no time this year. They better, or they're not going to be on the field. Marina says, why does our fan base have so much skepticism about Ritter, but not about Arthur Smith? What has he shown us in his time with us that he can develop a quarterback? I'll answer both of those questions. We have skepticism about Ritter because he's just started. And despite, again, I think a lot of people take so much stock in that 4 games, but I just want to see him from start to finish in this system, not just coming in at the last couple of games. And y'all already know sometimes those last 3 games we played 3 teams that didn't even make. We played 3 out of the 4 teams that we played didn't even make the playoffs that Ritter went against. Does that mean that his development is stunted? No. Does that mean he doesn't have potential? No. All I'm saying is some skepticism. And the part about Arthur Smith, Marina, I think there are people worried about Arthur Smith. But guess what Arthur Smith is going to have this year that he hasn't had the last couple of years? He's got more talent. So I do want to see what he does with more talent. You have a good point, too, Marina, because Arthur Smith's decision-making cost us a couple of games last year. And I think that shouldn't be overlooked. So you're right. I think it's just the fact that the quarterback, to me, the quarterback is the most polarizing position, brother. It is. It's the most polarizing position. Dave, what's going on? Say, my guess is the Falcons will open up in Carolina. You know what? That was my thought. If the Falcons are going to have any primetime games, which again, this is the question. So I do want to hear that opinion too. I know we're talking draft, we're talking free agency, which is fine. We can open the floor for everything. We could talk free agency, we could talk draft, we could talk real estate, we could talk whatever y'all want to. But what's that game in prime time? Yeah, Carolina, Atlanta is going to be tempting. Drew, what's going on, classmate? What's the word, brother? Good to see you in the house. Good to see you. Let's turn that off. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Phone calls don't stop. Rusty says, what's up, Rusty? Say, we've overpaid and overdrafted non-premium positions, safety and running back. Refuse to overpay and draft the important positions, quarterback and defensive end. Campbell is nice, but he's on a one-year rental, and Oyamata is on the bad side of 30. Fair points. However, and I put a big however, these are the guys they earmarked. These are the guys they seeked out. So these are the guys, for the meantime, that we're going to deal with. So I don't disagree with those. You already know I was stomping for quarterback decision. But again, that's past us now. So we either ride or hold our breath until other changes are made. So we'll see. Jimmy Wayne, he says, finally going to make it to see us against the Saints and hopefully Philly. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. Christian says, but all we can say is welcome to the Falcons, Bijan Robinson. That's what I'd say. He's going to be here. Why not? Eric says, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr is in trouble with our new defense. I have zero fear of the NFC South this year. And I want any NFC opponent person to tell me why they think they're going to be better than the Atlanta Falcons this year. I just don't see it as an overall team. Only team I would give a slight edge to, I've said this before, is Carolina. Saying, we're going to be top 5 this year if only Ritter can protect the ball. No silly interceptions, and our defense is going to be good enough to win the chip. I hope so. That was the first thing that the pro-Ritter people were saying. No interceptions. Well, let's see what happens at the beginning of the season. Let's see. Ghost Pepper says, on paper right now, the Lions, Vikings, and Jets look like our toughest test. If anyone wanted to play kind of an unknown at quarterback, this seems like the season to try it. Hey, and that's what makes this season with Ritter so critical. Because if Ritter falls on his face, we have an opportunity to figure some new stuff out. But if Ritter flourishes, or if Ritter shows signs, those Jalen Hurts baby steps, we could be in for some good stuff, man. We really could. So, Christian says, hey, Steve, have y'all thought about having an Atlanta Bird game tailgate group on some game days? Right before the pandemic, we talked about that briefly. So, I'm not sure. I don't want to put it out there. But that is something that we definitely had on the table prior to the pandemic. So maybe if we bring that up enough, we can get stuff started again, hopefully. Matt Down Dirty said, be careful you don't bring Big Low in the chat. Oh, man. Yeah, Big Low, man, that was one of the more fun chats I've had in a while, man. My little circle, man, Big Low Country Sports. Y'all make sure y'all check him out and, see what he's about. And Berto and the rest of the guys, those are the guys that we kind of hang with. We have a great time when we get together, man. I appreciate y'all paying attention. We had a good little singing fest the other day. That was some That was some fun stuff. That was fun. Dixon Way said, Dominique in the 80s and 90s. You must not like Dominique or kindly forgot about 21. 21 was here for about 2 years. I didn't say the whole period. You said, and really, I was arguing that you said no Braves. That's not true. I didn't argue to say Dominique wasn't the face. I didn't argue to say Dion wasn't the face. Your statement was no Braves, and that's not true. That's not accurate. Didn't say Dominique wasn't the face of Atlanta or Prime for the short time he was here. That was not the statement. Billy, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Andrew, what's up? Andrew says, L draft this year for the Falcons. Yeah, but again, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, there's no problem with that. You can have different opinions about it. And look, I'm not mad at anybody that didn't like it. If somebody gives this draft an F, they give it an F. That's their opinion. What am I going to do? Not talk to you because you have a different opinion? That's crazy. False Star says, you think Felipe? I think the Felipe Franks project might be over this year. Even though he was in the weight room, they showed the guys in the weight room this past year. So I don't know. Felipe still might be on that tight end roster. I mean, sometimes you get those guys that you like, man. Maybe Arthur Smith got some love for him, man. Maybe because he did everything he says. I don't know. Larry again says, no one was bigger than Atlanta than Dominique Wilkins from the court to his club. 21, Dale Murphy doesn't compare. Yeah. You missed your own question, brother. Your statement was an Atlanta Brave has never been the face of the franchise. The question wasn't whether Dominique was. So you might want to say you're typing. That's not what I said. That's not even what you said. I was debating the part about a Brave. And anybody who was here in the early 80s will tell you, pre-Dominique, pre-Prime, so maybe you're a little younger than I thought, Dale Murphy was the face of this city for a couple of years. I ain't saying for a decade, but for a couple of years. Joe, what's going on, man? That's somebody who could tell you that Dale Murphy was the guy here in the early 80s when he was winning MVPs and we made a mistake and won a division with Joe Torre. So Macktown says, cut, that's a shame. Got better coaching now. Yeah. You better have better coaching. Facebook user says, I'm trying to get to the Lions game in Detroit. That's actually and the Lions, man, the Lions, they're okay. Lions, matter of fact, I might put my money on the Lions for the North this year, more than Minnesota. Don't be shocked if Green Bay goes to the cellar this year. Don't be shocked. Greg says, whose man is that, Hunk? In the 90s, Dale Murphy was huge. This is before Otis Nixon, Fred McGriff, David Justin, Ron Gant. I mean, Greg, I was trying to explain, like I said before, I guess sometimes when you have a conversation, it kind of moves, so maybe he didn't understand what he was saying. I was arguing the point for there was never a Brave who was the face of the city. Recently, no. But back in the day, yes. Jimmy said I wouldn't mind a away game being Tampa. Everybody has told me about Tampa. That's one of the places I've never been. I've been to Tampa for, what's the little place in St. Pete? The little, what's the little amusement park? I've been down there, but that's it. Now, I know what you meant, brother. I know what you meant. Millie Mills says, I don't know about down there, but up here, NFL Network won't be on Infinity anymore. NFL won't renew a contract forcing us to buy that darn Sunday ticket YouTube BS for $400. Now, you know, there are stages of that too. I've kind of investigated that too. You don't have to get the whole package that gets the red zone and the extras and all of that. If you're an aficionado of this type of stuff, the $400 package is everything. But let's not pretend like it wasn't $400 with DirecTV either. The red zone and the whole thing was $399 last year, the last couple of years. So it's not like YouTube is gaffling us, but there are tiers. There are tiers, Millie. It's not 100% 400 for everybody. Stefan says, I have been skeptical about Arthur Smith for a few games in his first season. I did not like his play calling, and it seemed like it didn't get better in his second season. That's a huge deal, y'all. That's a huge deal. You gotta. I need to have faith in the guy calling the plays, and he's calling the plays too offensively, despite the figurehead of Dave Ragone as the OC. He's calling those plays. I'm a little skeptical about that, but again, he also hasn't had as much talent around him. That's why I'm willing to give him a mulligan, because, you know, Mariota didn't turn out to be that guy. I'm hoping Desmond is an upgrade. Matter of fact, I know Desmond is an upgrade over that. But, you know, with some more guys running, solidifying this offensive line, I want to give him that one chance. I want to give him one more chance to get this right. As a matter of fact, trust me, Arthur Blank is looking strongly. I wish I could go back and get my phone and take a picture of Arthur Blank on the sidelines when Mariota threw that pick six to, was that Minka Fitzpatrick? Or whoever was that intercepted that pass at the end of the game when we had a chance to go down and drive and I'm trying to think, win the game, or even go get a field goal. And the look on Arthur Blank's face as he looked up into the already 60% filled Mercedes-Benz and 75% of the fans were Pittsburgh. That was that day Arthur Smith went in there nervously talking about there might be changes. I don't think he wants that feeling again. And Blank ain't got that much time to wait. Matt Town says, hopefully the New York press has Roger all in his petty feelings by the time we meet up. I'm hoping so too. I hope that's a early game. I don't want to go to New York when it's cold, but I hope it's an early game. But yeah, that's a very tempting game. That Aaron Rodgers, because New York's defense now, they're gonna lie to you. Defense is pretty good. If they could have got the offense to, and Breece Hall was hurt during the second half of the season, so no. That DC in the house, ATLGA faithful. Y'all make sure y'all check my brother out on his YouTube channel. Say, in it to win it. What up to all, brother? What is up with you, man? Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Reminding folks to hit the like button. I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. Y'all go support my boy DC, man. He be putting up some good stuff. Check him out. Jimmy says, we get 3 primes. Thanksgiving at Detroit, Thursday night at New Orleans, Sunday night football at Carolina. I'm going to disagree with you definitely on Thanksgiving. We're going to get a Thursday night game. See, and when I say prime time, I should have said aside of the traditional Thursday night. Every team in the NFL gets a Thursday night game. So that's kind of already a given. I think Atlanta will play Carolina on a Monday night because of Bryce Young. And I think they'll spotlight that. I wouldn't even be shocked if Bryce Young is on Monday night against the Falcons in week 1. Don't be surprised if that's the call. And you know they're going to probably start leaking this stuff now that they talk about the schedule. The NFL will start leaking. I just hope we don't get any international games this year. I know we got one last year, but Hey, they throw Jacksonville over there every year, so y'all be careful. I hope not. Or if they're gonna do one, man, do it in Mexico. Well, I don't know Mexico. They shooting people over there. Miller Bill says it's a reason teams passed on Carter. They ain't like the dude after he showed up to an interview pro day out of shape and all the other BS with it. It was the teams before us that needed a DT. And I've told folks who want to listen, it's not. The accident played a huge part. His involvement, not from being attached to the deaths of the folks, but his involvement. That was a part. But y'all got to remember, this is a forgiving nation, man. They forgive people for anything these days. I think the thing that just can't be ignored is that on a pro day that he can control, he didn't have to go to that pro day, folks. He could have said, y'all know what? I'm not ready. Hey, agent, can you push this down 3 weeks? And let's do it then. The pro day was in mid-March. He could have done that 2 weeks prior to the draft. There was no timeline on pro days. They had pro days 2 weeks after Alabama did theirs. Not Alabama, after Georgia did their pro day. So why did you have to do that? If you knew you weren't ready, you shouldn't have done it. And if I'm a scout or a GM, more importantly, a GM, if I'm a GM and I'm about to invest millions of dollars on you, and I see that, oh, I understand that you just went through some stuff, but obviously you cared enough about football to keep the pro day. Don't you know if he wouldn't have gone to the pro day, folks would have probably gave him a pass. Yeah, he just went through the tragedy and losing his friends and stuff like that and everything. Folks would have given him a pass easy. But he decided to do it and look bad. And we're not talking about somebody who dropped from 6 to 7. If you go back and look at reports at the turn of 2022 to 23, the overall consensus player for number 1 was Jalen Carter or Bryce Young. He never went deeper than 2 on any list. It was Jalen Carter, and most of the list had Jalen Carter first. So I'm with you 100% on that, Millie. Antonio said, I'm just tired of teams converting 3rd and 17. Join the club. Join the club. DC says, Millie, you watch Jalen and Bijan post-draft interviews. It's clear why we chose Bijan. Jalen need a new environment, in my opinion. And it also is imperative that the right people get with you. Now, he's in an environment now at Philadelphia where he can probably kind of adjust very well. Do you think Fletcher Cox going to let him go up there and slouch? Do y'all think Jason Kelsey across the way on the other side of the field is going to let him slide? No, sir. The veterans on that team? No, sir. I don't even care about the Georgia stuff. Everybody making a big deal about that. I ain't worried about that. Philly veterans not going to let them come up there and mess up their money. No, bro, you ain't going to come up here doing all that. You going to get how much money you going to get on your signing bonus? $10, $12 million? You go get a Yugo. You go get you an electric car. Don't you go out there and get some high performance car already speeding your butt all around. No, sir. Don't do it. Millie says, why those other teams ain't taken? Why Chicago trade out from getting? And again, there you go. It's a good point. You're making a good point. And I'll even say, I still want, with all of that I just told you, I still wanted them. You know why I wanted them? Because I knew we had some veterans in here, some good character folks that may have been able to work with them. But again, I also understand from a business standpoint, if you're Terry, if you're Arthur, if you're the other Arthur, you might not want to deal with those headaches. And you're keeping them close home too? Oh, no. No. So I get it. All right. Jimmy said the Braves went up 3-2. Good. We need a sweep. What's up, Brother Berto in the house? 95 North Falcons Sports Talk. What's going on? So I must admit, I warmed up to the Falcons taking Bijan overall grade B-. I am there too. Y'all make sure y'all give my brother like on the 95 North Falcons talk show. Yeah, man. I like the move too. I like the draft too. I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're in the world of many mocks. And everyone wants to be the person that say, I told you, which is, it's natural. We all do it. And I think this was one of those that a good percentage of folks didn't think this was the pick. And we're ready to say, see, I told you we didn't need Bijan. But obviously the team say we did. I'm riding with Terry's thoughts. Chris said Jimmy Hall said we playing on Thanksgiving. Oh, no. He's just we're part of the questions we were asking Christians are what do you think we'll do for prime time? They haven't released anything yet. They're gonna release according to the ESPN report that they're gonna release the schedule on May. Did I see 11th? Next Thursday? Did I see 11th? I think I saw 11th. Clayton Murray says Chipper. Absolutely. Yeah, as Jimmy says, not confirmed. I think we would get them as a primetime game. PJ, what's going on, brother? Say, yeah, Dale Murphy was the face of Atlanta, and I can't even tell you how PJ's credentials will definitely hold a lot of weight for me. Yeah, Dale Murphy was that guy. ATL faithful say Lions building something nice. They are. You know why I don't want to believe in the Lions? Because their coach reminds me so much of DQ. Just a slogan after slogan after, all of that. He reminds me of that. Now, this is his first winning season, y'all. Let's not pretend like he's been full of victories since he's gotten there. But he has kind of gotten a little better each year. I just hold tight, though. But I do like what Detroit is doing. I do like what they're doing. Christian says, hell, I'm 33. Dale Murphy was definitely that guy. I got you. DC says Steelers also nailed their draft. They did. Steelers did a good job. They did. DC also says, feel like Chipper was the face for a while. He was for a quick second. He absolutely was. Larry says, okay, fair enough. I did say no Braves could be the fairest of the city, and Murphy was big. I did forget him. Just slip. Yeah, no big deal. Like I said again, I wasn't even trying to be right in that situation. I was just trying to say you had said that. So I just want to make sure you got your word. But you good. You good, brother. You know we good money. Jimmy Wayne says Mets went back up. Well, everybody hitting today, though. I guess after that rain out, everybody got a lot of energy. Oh, man. Ghost Peppers. And the only thing I'm going to do if Coach Lowe show up in the chat and say, what the world, Bo? I've been a supporter of his from day one. Yeah, Big Lowe is the man, man. He like I said, me, him, and Berto had an awesome chat the other day. I hope y'all go back and see it. And that was on day 2. What's going on, nephew? Armani in the house. Picked up an Alabama guy. What'd you say about that, brother? Picked up that Bama some more Bama people on the team. Alberto says, Arthur Blank made of pre-treated lumber. He's going to last forever. Hey, man. And he can get it treated at Home Depot. Dan, what's going on? So I feel Arthur Smith had to die down his I'm sure you meant dumb down his playbook for Mariota, because a lot of Ritter's plays we haven't seen with Mariota. This is true. I did see Ritter throw, and it was probably by design, because what you do, you want to see what Ritter can do. So I do like the fact that we threw the ball over a lot when Ritter was playing. So yeah, and he's probably right. I bet you he figured out probably in week 6 that Mariota was not going to be that guy throwing the ball, which is always so interesting that he just hung with him so long. We could have started the Ritter experiment much earlier. Larry said, I think we got 4 national games, and Bijan is super Bijan. That's a player the networks can market. That's true. And not only players can market, they can market him in this city, as you said earlier. And I think, we kind of starving for that guy. As much as I will say in 2022 to 23, the reigning guy has to be Trey. There was a quick second, I hate to go here for a minor second, that Joseph Martinez could have been that guy, but but yeah, I think Bijan can be that dude. See, but what's going on, man? Say, guess who went 11-5 in his rookie year? I wonder who. Looking at his supporting cast, I think Ritter could pull off an equal feat or close to it. Either way, I can't wait to see it. And I always bring that up, brother. And if you go back in NFL history and really look, there aren't a lot of rookie quarterbacks that have the start that the Iceman had when he was here. And I speak of Matt very glowingly overall. My biggest, matter of fact, I was like the hardcore defender of Matt from the time he came here till probably 2016. I mean, hardcore. Don't tell me anything negative about Matt, or we gonna come close to getting in each other's face. That type of defense for him. I have matured in my age, but yeah, hopefully Ritter can have that type of run. I'll say this. You're right. I think the supporting cast that we brought in to help to help Matt during 2008 was a big reason he got off to that big start. So yeah, we could do the same thing with Ritter. Absolutely. Antonio says, question for everyone after free agency, after the draft, what grade do y'all give Terry for the offseason? I think a lot of people probably put that in the same category as the draft because he's in control of the draft. Like I said B. I know a lot of people, were giving their opinions on that. Ghost says, Unc, I think we're going to see a big jump for Arnold Ebiketie going into year 2 under Nielsen and the bolstered interior rush help. You know the one thing I wanted AK to do? I wanted him to bulk up. I watched every game he played this year, whether I was there in the stadium or whether I was at TV. And you know the thing about him? I love his motor. But it seemed like every time he had the speed, but the offensive lineman used his speed against him. And go back and look at any game. AK is close. But you know why he was close and never quite there? Because the offensive lineman would make him take the longest route. They push him out. They use his speed against him. He tried to speed rush through there, but wasn't big enough to mess with most of those right tackles and left tackles. Got to have some strength. I'm not saying he's not a big guy, but I'm pretty sure this year after 1 year in the league, he probably knows what he has to do. He probably got to pump up, man. Them big boys on the offensive line don't play. This ain't college anymore. It's not Penn State. you gotta get in there and get them. Ghost Pepper says, "I'm sorry, I see no threat from a quarterback Carolina who's so short. He's mini-me's." And look, I don't think Bryce Young is going to set the world on fire year one, but I do think he's going to eventually be pretty good. I really do. I just like the way I saw him play for Alabama. Even games they lost. That Tennessee game this year, one of the games I looked at and just said to myself, they had no business coming back in that game. Tennessee was up by what, 3 touchdowns? And every time you turn around, he's doing some Houdini act to escape the pocket and stuff like that. And just weird, man. Millie says, he can't speed like that in Philly. Roads too narrow and too much traffic. This is true. But he can come home and he can go down I-75 during that stretch after you leave Macon. Oh. Larry says, I agree with you on the Eagles having the team structure to keep Jalen on the right path about football. If he is home, he hangs out with the same people, and that could be bad. Absolutely, it can. Absolutely. Greg says, people out of the mind thinking Carter out of shape at Pro Day, then offering him millions in Atlanta with these distractions, with a young, immature wine was ready for this atmosphere. Business first in the ATL. Can't argue with it. I can't. As much as I want to disagree with this, Greg, and I want to have at least tried, how am I going to argue with that? That's just good business sense. Millie says, I'm interested in seeing how that kid Justin Marshall pans out. If it be those players from lower schools who become stars. Yeah, Buffalo had a good one, man. The only thing I think if I was watching correctly, I think I was watching Smitty's short. Of course, y'all know Smitty's Sports Machine. Y'all make sure I'm sure y'all subscribed already. But where he was saying his route running was one of the things that was a problem. And again, folks, if they're undrafted free agents, I'm not trying to say they aren't talented, but there's a reason they don't get picked. So that was one of the things he was saying. Terrence, what's going on? Says, can't lie, I really didn't like the draft, but the reality of this situation is Bijan is a home run hitter. Reminds me of a smaller prime Todd Gurley mixed with 2015, 2016 Devontae Freeman. Lord have mercy. Tidy don't need to see that. But yes, you are correct about him having that ability. And let's face it, Terrence, the lifespan of running backs these days, you don't see running backs having 10-year career. The Frank Gores of the world, folks aren't doing that anymore. Matter of fact, you see more running backs getting out of the game early. It was a shame with Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was so talented. And just to see the remnants that were left with him when he got here, it was just horrible, man. Horrible, but he's a good dude. Facebook user says, I give props to Smitty for being one of the first predicting Bijan would come to Atlanta. Smitty was singing that the whole time. Absolute credit where credit is due. Unapologetically telling folks, yeah, I hear what y'all saying, but Bijan, and give him credit for sticking to his guns on that. RJ, what's going on, brother? So I hope the Philadelphia Bulldogs fail this season. They probably won't, but, you know, I think it's a cute little story. I think it's a cute little, oh, look, they got the Bulldogs and they traded the DeAndre Swift in here. Oh, we got all the Bulldogs. It better work. Howie Roseman has done a great job taking the folks, winning the Super Bowl 5 years ago, breaking it back down, and now building it back up. You better hope the Georgia experiment works. It worked last year, not because of the Georgia guys. It worked because they had other guys in there. But this is their future. They're basically saying, we're taking the better parts of that 2021 defense for the Bulldogs, and we're banking on all four of those defensive guys to be just as good. It's four, right? Four, right? Four. All four of those guys to be just as good this year. Five of those guys, right? N'Kobe, Jordan, Jalen, Nolan. Yeah. So, Sean, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the house, man. I checked y'all out the other day, man. Y'all check out Sean. They were hanging out with Ryan in the Birdcage, man. They had a good draft show, Birdcage LLC. Y'all give my brother some love out there, man. I was checked y'all out after we finished our stuff. Armani says they pitcher hit Acuna. Yeah, man. Acuna, golly, he got to stay healthy. Jimmy says, yeah, there's some whorebags for that. Wow. DC says, I think drafting Bijan at number 8 is why we didn't draft a wide receiver. He's going to be in the slot a lot, in my opinion. Yeah, I think Bijan is going to be the younger version of what Cordero was doing for us when he first got here in 2021. That's what he's going to be. Sean says the Ice Cubes was the face of the city for a little bit. They actually were. You saw the Ice Cubes had a social media following, man, whether we liked them or not. They definitely had a following. Scooter says Helium's definitely making the team. Grant or Hawkins is in trouble. I think it's Grant, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I like Hawkins. I like Hawkins better than I like Grant. I think Grant turned out to be that reach, in my opinion. I think Grant is the reach. It would not shock me to see them get rid of, and that just be another line of saying we have had the hardest time with second-round picks here in the last few years when you start talking about Grant, and Hagelman, and Davidson. I don't know what it is. Just have not been able to latch on. Get back down here. False Start said, I agree with the AK assessment. Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw. I mean, I don't know if anybody else saw that. That's what I saw every time. Ghost Pepper says, can't get over the fact that the Mario overthrower thought that he could break dance Ozone and Turbo. That's an insult to Ozone and Turbo. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't care how cheesy it is. I don't care how whatever. Kids, if you haven't seen Breaking, the first one, not Electric Boogaloo with Ice-T. Well, Ice-T was in both of them. But Breaking, the first Breaking with the dearly departed Ozone. That was before gangster movies and Boys in the Hood and all of that. But that was about the closest you got to a full minority movie that was in the movie theaters at the time. Breaking. I can stop. If Breaking is on TV right now, I'm stopping and watching the end of it. Had the little interracial line with the girl in there and stuff. But that was cool. That was cool stuff. DC says Scooter Halams is legit. He from Alabama. I don't distrust anybody from Alabama if Saban gives the okay. Bedtown Dirty said AK, just like an old plane on the street. Oh, man. Just do well. What's going on? Say we're still not done adding guys, but high hopes for this current team. They just got to deliver. And Terry even said as much in the little press conference that he gave earlier. Yeah, they still got some stuff to do as far as getting people on the team. Lisa, how you doing? Glad to see you back in the house. And after repping us up in Kansas City for the draft, hope you had a great time up there. Appreciate you repping as always. Billy says, if Dupree can stay healthy, AK snaps will probably take a little hit. Not saying he won't get in, but he probably get more breaks. I'm trying to tell you, Bud ain't coming here to mentor. Bud trying to get that other contract. I mean, I know this was his big contract, the one that he got with the Titans, but he was only able to stay for a couple of years. Bud trying to get that money back. I think that's a great move. And not only that, these one year deals, folks, that's why you see everyone estimating our salary cap to be even more next year, because a lot of these things drop off. As much as everybody's making a big deal about all this help for Grady, you got to make a major decision on Grady next year. So hopefully this help will get his longevity in there. Antonio says, how do you think Anthony Richardson's going to do with the Colts? I hope they don't throw him out there early. That's my only concern. I think I would have liked to see Anthony Richardson stay behind somebody. But I heard the owner, Jim Irsay, suggest that he should get out there on the field. I don't think he should. I think he should learn, because I think he's that person that, it's that person when you see the talent, and I'm not saying he's not going to eventually turn into something, but he has a little bit of those Trey Lance vibes. And I would love to see him sit behind somebody first before he goes out there. But I think he's pretty talented. I really do. Millie Mills says, so talented, and we passed on him for Mr. Beasley. What are you talking about, man? Hey, Beasley gave us 1 year. Hope you heard the sarcasm in that. We have a 2-man power trip at running back. One of my favorite games when we went to Denver and put them running backs in. Tevin went off. And remember, that was the game. Remember, they thought because Tevin had a sickle cell trait or something like that, and they thought Tevin Coleman couldn't play. And Tevin Coleman not only played, but he destroyed Denver that game. Ghost Pepper says, on most of these plays, there's absolutely no pressure from a single other player. That's going to change with Grady, Campbell, Oyamata. I'm really excited for AK's continued development. I think AK realizes that too. Look, this is putting everybody on notice, man. This is putting everybody on notice. This is do or die for these guys. AK them, they better show up. They better show up. Oh, Ringo. They got Ringo too? Okay. Just do well. I see you too. Yeah, they got, okay. My bad. Forgot Keely Ringo. But you know what? Is it just me, y'all? Ever since Keely Ringo took that pick 6 back, has he really been that guy? I'll argue that and I'm forgetting his name, the freshman cornerback for the Bulldogs last year, he was much better to me. But I know Keely will forever will never have to buy a steak dinner ever again in Athens. But I think Keely was okay. I'm not quite feeling that. It says AK and Ellis should be effective with interior push. They should. Winston says Hawkins going to the bench. Grant will be the starting strong safety with Bates and at the free safety. What's going on, Winston? Winston, maybe so, man, but I know Bates is playing Hawkins' position. I get that. Richie Grant, man. I don't know. Matt says all them dogs, if we have to play Philly, I'm calling Peter. Oh, y'all got the jokes today. Oh, man. Eric says, not Falcon related, but are you excited Tom Brady is finally done? I know I am. Aaron Rodgers should be next. Look, it is Falcon related because Tom Brady destroyed us for the majority of his career. Absolutely, I'm glad that you will never have to see Tom Brady get on the field. It's so funny because you even hear people now trying to, oh man, he'll be back. He'll be back. Yeah, all that. Man, forget him. Forget him. Big Low in the house. What in the world, Bo? Big Low Country Sports in here. Everybody already knows who the young man is. Subscribe to his channel. Like the videos. Had the pleasure of spending some time with him at 95 North on the second day of the draft. Had a great time putting it down for y'all. Had a great time doing that. Trying to skip down here a little bit. Malachi Starks, that's his name. Malachi Starks, David. You're on point. That's the guy. Thank you, Matt Town. I see you too. Yeah, Malachi Starks. That guy played a better secondary than Keely last year. But again, Keely had the Kelly Clarkson moment. Some things last a lifetime for a moment like this. So that was. Oh, man. Jimmy says Keely won't be great until the next level. I'm sorry. Keely won't be great next level unless he goes to safety. The reason he fell is hips are rigid. Example, look what Marvin Harrison Jr. was doing, and he was getting toasted again. Yeah, absolutely. Harrison is going to be nice when he finally gets draft eligible. ATLAX, what's up? Now say, nope, Ringo fell off this past season. He did not look happy where he went in the draft either, but it's on him to redeem himself. Again, yeah, you're right. It's not over, but he absolutely looked better. Absolutely. Billy says, I'm going to say it again. Bryce Young is food. I'll leave Bryce alone. He can get that #1 money this year. Ghost Pepper says, Big Low Country Sports like Dennis Edwards and David Ruffin. Man, look, let me tell you something. I told him before. Big Low said, I told Unc that no one is bigger than the group. Oh, look, I look at it better. I look at it more like again, Bobby Brown in New Edition. Like Big Low is Ralph, and I'm Bobby. Like so every now and then you gotta go out there and every little step I make, and I'll leave him to do that stuff on the inside. But y'all watch out though. Berto might be Johnny Gill. You never see. ATL said not Kelly Clarkson. Hey, bro. Oh, no. David said, in my opinion, the LSU game and Harrison Jr. cost Keely Ringo a lot of money. Yeah, because that was his time that he could have raised his game up. You're absolutely right. I think he did. He did lose right around there. Grant says, look on the bright side. Even the Madden GMs of the group will enjoy running with Bijan on the game. Look, I've already seen guys out there in the social media universe talking about how Bijan is making the Atlanta team that much better. So, hey, we'll see. Oh, man. Miller says, then that makes him an expensive steak dinner than Hunkies. Dang, man, y'all hard on Bryce, man. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be rooting against him, but dang. Oh, man. Try that. Are you gonna be joining Smitty and Burrow tonight? I wish I could. That's why I went on early, because I was actually a little bit late. I was supposed to stop at 7 o'clock. It's a Monday, so kind of family night. But that actually is a good place to stop. A good place to stop through. Brother got to go take care of some stuff here. But it's been great with everybody here in the group today. We do our Monday Minutia. every Monday. Try to do it in the afternoon, somewhere between 4 and 6. Today we start around 5:40. Just if a little bit of the topic today, a little bit of what was going on in the draft, and with the news that the schedule is coming out this year. Which games do you guys have circled for prime time? Which games you're going to try to go to? Continue to answer in the chat after the stream is over with. I appreciate it. Don't forget Uncle Steve's Lounge. Don't forget to subscribe. We keep moving up. I appreciate the love. Don't forget my circle of fellas out there. They all been in the chat for me today. Appreciate Big Low Country as always. My buddy 95 North Sports Talk. Smitty Sports Machine out there, out of your Falcon mind. Appreciate them. Did see one time for the fan this weekend. I know those my guys, man. Y'all make sure y'all put them up there. My brother Larry, who's probably doing the game as we speak. He might be doing basketball tonight, though. The Dixon Way. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on YouTube as well. Until then, everybody have a great evening. I'll be listening to everybody tonight. Appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. Peace.